We're currently joined by the Delhi Transport Minister, who's joining us on the show, Mr. Kailash Gahlot, joining us to discuss more on the Delhi EV policy draft. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining in. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Well, give us a couple of basic details. What's the reason that you want to shift this entire thing to EV? By when for cab aggregators? And also, more importantly, what happens to the current aggregators who have CNG fittings?
See, the whole idea behind basically coming up with this policy was, one is at the moment there's no framework, there's no legal framework under which these people are operating. So one was to have a legal framework or policy or a scheme under which these people operate, keeping in mind the safety of passengers. And the other target objective behind this entire thing was, since we have kept the targets for conversion. If you have a look at the policy and the chart which is there, so broadly one is that beyond 2030, all the vehicles which are in the fleet of aggregators, whether in the passenger category or in the delivery, they have to be electric. And second, the day this policy gets notified, then there are specific targets for the new boarded vehicles. Means if you are adding a new vehicle to the fleet, so suppose if somebody already has 100 vehicles, and if they are going to add one more or two, then some percentage of it has to be electric. But by the end of the fourth year, if you are going to increase your fleet size, then that has to be electric vehicle only. So I'm just trying to differentiate and giving it clarity. So there are two aspects to it. One is the existing fleet, and the other is when you are going to increase the existing fleet. So there are specific targets for both.
So it's going to be in a gradual, phased manner. Got that point for both the existing and the new cabs that you add. So what is the argument against the, have you heard of any pushback? Because the current cost premium of EV over ICE is quite significant, and the break even takes some time, a fair amount of time. So has there been any pushback to this draft policy that you've heard from cab aggregators? And the question number two is, what happens next? Sequentially, what's the, you've put out a draft now, what are the next steps?
No, this is not a draft. This is the final draft. Was published. It was put up in public domain almost 2-3 months back. And in fact, we've had at the department level also, and at my level also, we've had multiple stakeholder meetings, even physical meetings, even on video conference call. So we have taken feedback from every stakeholder. See, as I said, there are multiple objectives of this entire scheme, but one of the most important objective, if we are fighting against the pollution, then we are trying to put in the targets and timelines wherever we are getting an opportunity. So we had an opportunity in this cab because a private vehicle doesn't travel so much as compared to a commercial vehicles. All the commercial vehicles, whether they are taxis or in the delivery segment, including our public transportation buses also, I mean, they'll end up traveling anywhere from 150 to 200 kilometers every day. A normal private vehicle owner would travel maybe 30-40 kilometers in a day. So our objective and target is to push those vehicles in the commercial segment so that we increase the number of electric vehicles and we reduce the pollution also.
Absolutely. Sir, so I just want to, for the sake of clarity, ask you about the overall EV policy. I mean, not just cab aggregators.
Loud, I'm not able to.
Sir, am I more audible now?
Yeah, you're more audible now.
Okay. Sir, let's talk beyond cab aggregators. Let's talk about Delhi transportation overall. if I look at the broader EV policy for Delhi, I believe the policy envisages that there'll be 25% of all new vehicles will be battery operated by 2024. And 1 out of every 4 basically vehicles sold in Delhi, new vehicles sold in Delhi, will have to be EV. But as far as the existing fleet is concerned, whether it's commercial vehicles, passenger cars, personal vehicles, or buses for that matter, can you just give us a broad framework in terms of the overall transition? The reason I'm asking this is that companies like IGL, I mean, Delhi is a thriving business center for them. And therefore, we're just trying to ascertain how their business prospects need to evolve in tune with the city's EV policy.
No, I think we have had a very interesting, exciting journey since 2020 when we launched the electric vehicle policy. And these are not my words. Everybody has appreciated the electric vehicle policy because it was a policy not just on paper, but we executed it very nicely. And since then, if you remember, in 2020 the percentage of electric vehicles was, I think, barely maybe around 2%. So from 2%, I think we are now almost at 10% or maybe more. In fact, in December 2022, the registration went up to almost 16%. So gradually, the number of electric vehicles registration has been increasing, and I think we have taken all the pains of promoting, educating people, making them aware of the advantages of electric vehicle vis-a-vis the pollution, reduction in pollution, because they are absolutely zero emission vehicles. So and knowingly we kept very aggressive targets. By 2024, in fact, we lost almost 1.5–2 years during the COVID. We could not do much, but still we are hopeful that by end of 24 we are able to achieve this target of 25% of overall registration vis-a-vis the electric vehicle registration.
So now that is with respect to new vehicles that are going to be registered in Delhi. I want to just ask you, what about existing vehicles plying on the road? The way you have this EV conversion policy for existing cab aggregators, are you planning to bring anything with strict time mandates, similar time mandates for, say, commercial vehicles plying in Delhi, or commercial cars plying in Delhi?
I think if somebody is running a taxi and it is not part of the aggregator, then we have not kept any target as of now. But I think the various incentives which are being given, whether it is parking or other things, then I think every person would at some point of time think of converting to. See, maybe the initial cost is maybe a little high at the moment, but the running cost of electric vehicle is far much cheaper compared to a normal petrol or diesel vehicle. I do agree that the battery cost at the moment is on the higher side, but if you see even the charging, if you consider electricity as a fuel, then the if you compare it with petrol or diesel, then it is almost negligible.
So what happens to the existing CNG infrastructure in Delhi and its expansive, exhaustive infrastructure set up over decades? I mean, Delhi is a major consumption sector for compressed natural gas.
I think that is for the companies to see what exactly and how they are going to utilize the assets, and maybe they would like to venture into other business, or I really can't comment on that.
Okay, but you are saying that as of now, nothing on the table where you are looking to bring out a similar phase-out plan for existing, not new vehicles, but existing vehicles plying on the roads, whether it's commercial vehicles or private cars, no such plan?
No, I don't think we have. Our whole thrust has been on making people aware, promoting the entire policy, and giving them either cash incentive or other kind of incentives, so that by their own volition, they switch to the electric vehicles.
We'll leave the discussion here for now. Thank you very much for joining in. That's Mr. Gahlot saying 10% of currently the EVs, 10% of the total vehicles are EVs right now in Delhi, but their aspiration is it will hit 25%, I think by 2024-25.